Hey, it's me, Bobbert, and today I'm reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog for the Wii U. I love finding these cult classic games, but out of all the games out there, it's kind of weird that something like Sonic the Hedgehog to have a quote-unquote anniversary edition. I mean, nothing against the game, as you'll soon find out in this video, but usually anniversary games are established franchise like Mario or Sonic. But with that nitpick aside, is Sonic the Hedgehog really worth getting? Let's find out. The story begins in the cat village, which was once a peaceful place, as well as the other animal village, until the rats and gorillas invaded and took over all the village. Now it's up to a young warrior cat named Kay to save the day and get back the freedom of all the village. Sonic the Hedgehog is an action platformer with some exploration, almost like Super Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie. The combat is pretty simple to pull off due to its 2-3 button combos. There are a small amount of moveset that Kay can do, but the game makes up for it by adding more weapons and upgrades and items that are also very useful. As for the exploration part, the game is for the most part linear, but there are some extra paths and hidden areas that reward you with items and upgrades if you choose to explore the area. The gameplay is pretty good and surprisingly doesn't get tedious despite its limited moveset. Now the reason I say that is because other games like say Sonic Boom, I know not the best example, but usually the combat in those games get pretty boring at a point, but with Sonic the Hedgehog it doesn't. Granted, some people may find it tedious after a while, but Sonic the Hedgehog finds a perfect balance of exploration and combat. Now, some of the enemies does take some strategy to get used to, but they're pretty simple to figure out, making it a pretty simple game, but pretty fun as well. The only complaint I have about the gameplay is all the action buttons is on the front of the controller. For those who are confused by that, I mean the 4 button at the front of the controller. It's weird at first because I'm so used with the 2 button combination like in Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie. You press one of the front buttons and the second button is usually the shoulder or the trigger button at the same time, which would have made the game easier to handle, but again, it just takes some time to get used to, but once you get used to it, you start enjoying the game. Now the graphics is not very impressive for a remastered version. It's not terrible, but it's pretty mediocre. But I do really like the game setting and level design. It makes me want to explore the place. That's really the only compliment I can give it visually. The story at first is pretty basic, but it really gets interesting later on in the game, like when Kay meets all the other village, and the leaders of the rats and gorilla don't trust each other. It's almost like an episode of Avatar The Last Airbender, but not as good as the TV show. I wouldn't be surprised if the developer were inspired by it. Now, most of the voice acting sucks, and I don't usually like to bash on voice acting because, my voice isn't that good. But, bad voice acting is still bad voice acting, especially Kay's voice. Not only badly performed, but it's a voice of a kid, which, it's not bad to have a kid's voice, but the character is created in its teen and young adults. And speaking of adults, for a game that's rated E10, they do say some cuss words every now and then. Well, not constantly, but they draw in a few, which I'm not sure how it got past the ESRB rating, but it's just a fair warning for the parents listening to this. Sonic the Hedgehog is a great game despite its problems. If you're a fan of action platformers, it's definitely worth giving it a try. It's on the Wii U, PlayStation 4, and PC. A physical copy is hard to find, so I recommend just downloading it. This is me, Bobbert, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, hopefully, and I'll catch you guys later.